let me get back to my what?
Well, let me get back to my stroll as I unfold these pimping techniques.
What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker here on Unique Access Entertainment. As always, please hit that subscribe button. It's right down there and it's free. That enables us to keep coming to y'all as often as possible with as many interviews as possible. So please hit that subscribe button, like our content, share it, talk about it, be about it, each one, teach one. We appreciate your support in getting us this far. Now, today, we have a super honor and super privilege of being joined by Psychodrama's very own Young Buk. Thank you for coming through, sir.
Oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Now, Buk is a phenomenal artist. Been listening to him for so long and very excited to have him here on Unique Access. And for those that know a lot of the Psychodrama Young Buk stuff from back in the day, we also got to bring you up to speed because they have the new Be All Right single that's out. So if you haven't heard it yet, wherever you stream or listen to your music, definitely pick that up. So, Buk, let's start with that. For those that don't know, with you, Side of Nuisance, what made that like a song that you wanted to drop now?
Yeah, so we just wanted to add some energy to this upcoming full album release, and Be All Right was it has all of the elements of the Chicago and us playing off each other's background. So we just wanted to get a little fun before we throw this dagger of the full album. So my boy Professor Lowe produced this track for me about a year ago, and we just started playing with the idea, and Nuisance came up with this really, really fun and interactive hook, and we just said, you know what, let's get the people this, and it was a nice follow-up to Heard 'Em Say, which we dropped last year, got kind of stalled with COVID and everything. So we wanted to just come back with some a little fun. And the full album is coming in a few months. So that's where we at, man. Be All Right right now, streaming everywhere. Check that out.
Yes, very excited about that. And Nuisance, starts off the song, and you guys throughout Psychodrama's career, you've kind of switched it up a lot. Sometimes you go first, sometimes she does, sometimes Side. So how did that evolve and develop over the years? Like, how does that work for you guys?
Yeah, we just really kind of play it by ear. And, a lot of times I'll find a beat. I'm like the beat connoisseur, and just kind of throw it in the cage to the wolves. Side and Nuisance. They like songwriting geniuses. So, whoever comes with that initial first line, we just kind of give grace to that person. Like, okay, you need to go first on this because of how you started that off. So, you never know. It really just depends on, how we write, and we write together a lot. And even being so far apart with COVID, we all in different cities. So it was even more of a challenge because we usually together riding around, smoking and just kind of vibing. But this was a little bit of a challenge. So it was a lot of writing and recording ourselves, and then emailing these ideas to each other back and forth, and texting, and then just adding our usual formula to it. And stuff just kind of kicks off. We just play it by ear and give the award to whoever got that first hot line that we know will catch everybody.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the formula, one of the great things that has always been one of my favorite things about how you write and how you deliver this stuff, you also do on Be All Right, which is with the monsters delivering their message monstrously, like how you kind of play or stack similar words or parts of words together.
Yeah.
So where does that come from?
Oh man, as a kid, I was a nerd. So I was one of those kids that read the entire dictionary a few times, and was always in oratory contests and speeches and, encyclopedias and stuff like that. So I always had a love for writing and just playing with different sounds. So, on top of lyricism, back in the day before the internet, a lot of these guys don't know rap was really about style, your style of rapping. So I started kind of leaning on wordplay as like my thing. Not only do I have lyrics, but I want to give you something that'll kind of tickle you subconsciously too by stacking these similar sounding words, playing with different, metaphors and similes and things like that. So I just kind of honed that skill over the years, and that's just become like a staple of my style, playing with words like that.
Okay. And then you even have demonstratively right after that.
Yeah.
Which
Which is not a word. So I just so I was playing with that. It's funny you brought that up. I was saying it in a way like I have to think of a way to express what I feel. I've said, three monsters that delivered their message monstrously. And then I was like, demonstratively, how can I say this? It may be some way that, so it's just kind of, I acted out that line just to give it even more emphasis on how serious we are with this rapping thing. So I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you, brother.
yeah, of course, man. No, I love it. And I think that's the as rap has gotten so omnipresent and ubiquitous, I think we sometimes as consumers, I know it's probably different for you as an artist too, but it's like I still love hearing the creative word usage that people like you and me fell in love with back in the day. That's why I was drawn. That was part of the reason I was so drawn to the music, is that the way that the words were melded and bended and changed and invented and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been a fan of music forever, and there was a lot of great pioneers that influenced me to do that and try to be original. And like you say, that was the thing, back in the day. It was about being creative and original and stuff like that. And we got a lot more of that on this upcoming record and the few projects that we're working on. We got some mind blowing stuff. So be on the lookout for that too. We're gonna take it there, man. Definitely.
Very excited. And before we get to all the history, though, who would you say, as you think back and now that you've been making music for so long, who do you really think did have the most impact on you, even if you didn't realize it back then?
Oh man, that's a great question. I have to say LL was like my biggest influence, along with, N.W.A as a group, and then all of them individually. So individually and collectively, N.W.A, same for the Ghetto Boys. Scarface is just like top of the list, man. Just one of the greatest writers ever. But especially Ice Cube with America's Most Wanted. That was just a life-changing project for me as a kid, listening to that. And it's so many people, man, from the Fu-Schnickens to DOS Effects to EPMD and Three Times Dope and, Buster. It's so many people over the years. But I'm a true fan of music, so I listen to everything, man. When you're on TV Raps, The Basement, Jukebox, I was that kid stuck to the TV, man, and to the radio. So yeah, I would say those guys mainly. LL definitely is who I consider to be my idol, but Redman definitely played the part of one of the biggest influences as well, because that dude is ridiculous. Him, the whole Def Squad, Keith Murray, E-Double, those guys, and K Solo and everybody else associated with them cats definitely had a big influence on me.
Yeah. Now with LL, I think it's important to mention him briefly because the fact of what LL always did things that were so, even though he was so popular, he also was so innovative, story wise, delivery wise. He didn't rhyme sometimes. He was doing all kinds of stuff that I think, because he got so popular and because people, I think, overemphasize his love songs, they forget all this other stuff that he did that was so groundbreaking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
Absolutely.
even Twister told me many times about why you think they call it dope is why he tried to rap or encouraged him to rap fast, like how LL was on there, because he was like, wait a minute, this
Yeah.
verse is like something I'm trying to do, you know?
Yeah. LL had everything, man. And I'm glad you brought that up. It's you know, his love songs and stuff like that. That's what was emphasized the most. But the true fans and the true people that love lyrics and style know that that dude introduced so much to the formula of MCing. You know, his delivery was more important than anything. The way he could say something, it could be the same thing that everybody else said, but the way he said it, it was just ridiculous, man. And oh, I forgot the great Rakim as well. I have to give Ra and KRS-One and those guys their props too.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah,
Back to Psychodrama.
yeah.
So with heard him say,
Mhm.
you do one of your techniques there where you speed up and slow down, but not much. So
Yeah,
it's not so dramatic. And that's
yeah.
also been one of my favorite things that you've done throughout the years. So
Thank you.
how and why and when do you specifically remember developing that technique?
Man, I would say it was sometime back in high school. I started out as one of the kids trying to beat Twista's record, trying to rap as fast as him or faster than him. And I met a brother named Sandman, Jerry. And my boy Double J introduced me to him. And he was one of the greatest writers ever. And he was one of the people that just kind of taught me how to, you know, think a little deeper with the style that I was trying to do. So along with trying to rap fast and keep up, I was a big fan of reggae too. So a lot of that, what we call it flipping. A lot of people say sniping or twisting and things like that. What we call the style that I do and what we do is flipping. So I just started playing with the idea of I kind of visualize it like a regular rap, a regular metronome, but just pour syrup on it. And, you know, the wheel gets stuck in a certain place, but it goes still. You know, that's how I kind of visualize that speed up, slow down style. So it's really about always being on time on the one beat. You know, I could pack 50 words in this line, but as long as I'm on time for the one, the next line may have only 10 words, and five of those words go with five of these words, or it may go with 20 of those words. So I kind of play with more of the feeling. I always tell people, you can feel my rhyming words more than you can hear them, because I might pack 30 of them in one phrase, and you may not notice it until you see it in writing, or if you just repeat it back to yourself, like, damn, I didn't know he said all of that, you know, at the same time. So I've been playing with that for years, but definitely since about high school, I started doing that just to set myself apart from everybody else who was stuck in the super gangster or people just wanting to rap fast. I said, I'm going to just invent my own style. And it was good brothers like Sandman. And I used to be an original member of D.O.C. So I was with AK and Below every day. And, you know, a lot of great MCs challenged me and helped me hone my style. So definitely something I've been doing my whole life.
Yeah.
Really.
And I think that's part of what makes you so distinctive and so great is that most people don't do it for the one, they do it maybe the two or the four, and
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
a different a different aiming point, I guess.
Yes, sir. Cadence.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then what, having the idea to do it, but who or why were you comfortable and encouraged to do it? Because on the
Mhm.
one hand, it's good to be different. On the other hand, if you're too different, people
Yeah.
might be like, yo, man, what are you doing? Like, you're not even on the drum. Like, what?
Yeah. Yep. You know what? It was I think people took notice of it, and like my closest people, like Direct from Triple Darkness, my Scattered Bodies brother, Drummer War brother, he was one of the people that really was like, dude, you know, you're standing on top of the one, and or you're hanging from the one, and So people like him and just MCs that I respect, especially Side and Nuisance, they always told me, don't ever change that style. You know what I mean? So, and then like in the hood that we grew up in out west, everybody just loved that style. And then as my voice started to mature more, I was kind of stuck in this baritone, but I said, I'm gonna really try to hone that with the style that I have to just be completely unique. It's like Barry White repeating one of Twista's raps, or you know what I mean? And I just got confident in it because people responded to it as something positive. It was a risk, but as I kept messing with it, it just became something that's just second nature to me. And
Yeah, it's funny you say that too, because like on Magic or Lethal Weapon versus Adrenaline Rush, your voice was so different.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about that, so it's wild you brought it up. But
Yeah.
I remember thinking, like, man, that sounds like Buk, but is that Buk? Because his voice is so deep all of a sudden.
Yeah. That's back when I was young Buk. Now it's just Buk, But yeah, man, I was a kid, man. I was, Magic. I wrote Magic when I was like 16, it came out. I was probably 17 at that time. But the funny part about that is like I stressed my voice to be that high. I actually had a baritone even back then in my normal speaking voice. But we, when we created the idea of Magic, the story, like I kind of was playing off the Foghorn Leghorn, or the idea of certainly, and that type of feel. It was more cartoonish to say, I think I'm ready to get my pimp on, So I was kind of stressing my voice to be higher than it actually was. Because if you had a conversation with me at that time, it was just like this here. So it was the love of just trying to do something different. So, but over the years, after thousands of packs of Newports and blunts and fifths of Tanqueray, my voice just kind of stuck in that in this register down here. So
from what I've heard, that'll do it to you.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Now, you also touched on an important thing, west side of Chicago. I lived on the south side for a few years. And got to be real cool with EC and Traxter, among many others, and got more familiar with the music I've been listening to from afar. But I wanted you to explain to people people think of Chicago and they may or may not understand the different sides of the city, but to have Traxter being the south side and all of you guys being from the west side, what do you think? What was the difference that made you guys all mesh so well together?
Yeah, it's crazy. One of my homeboys, Ward Scoob, rest in peace. He was a part of the Ill State Assassins, which was that South Side Collective, D.A. Smart, the Chamber, Toxic, and Riot, and all of those guys. And me, Ward Scoob, and my buddy Shake Bag, we were in a group together called D.O.A. at the time. This is before Psychodrama, everything. And he brought us out there to the studio to meet those guys. And Traxter, Scoob had Traxter to do some production for our group, D.O.A. And me and Traxter kind of clicked because he's also a music nerd. And, over the years, me and him we started getting close and just started throwing around a lot of ideas. And when he started focusing on doing stuff for us, it kind of trickled into this west side, south side connection that just never broke after that. He went on to do stuff for Twista and the Snipers and, everybody. So, but yeah, mainly the south side feel was more hip hop, more, boom bap, that type of flow. And when we got with Traxter, it just really, highlighted the styles that we were creating at the time out west. And we just been family ever since then, man.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
There will be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on your TV back with N.W.A.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.